What's up? Welcome to Truth Be Told, where every man is king and the truth unfolds, and every word spoken comes from the soul, and the audience members love to take control. No topic is taboo, we talk about it all, and the host so funny you gonna shout and fall out your seat. Your life's not complete without a moment of truth once every 2 weeks. And we speak like none other, educated real brothers, family style for you, your kids and your mother. And we love to gain your trust. Just sit right down, relax and enjoy. This is where the truth is found. Truth be told. What up, what up, what up?
Yeah!
What's good?
What's poppin'?
Welcome to Truth Be Told.
That's right.
Where every man is king. Sometimes.
That's right.
And that sometimes is right now.
Right now.
Word up. I am one of your hosts. I go by the name of Realize. OCS Entertainment. What's up? How you doing? Good evening.
Yeah, and I'm son Jada Say Go. What's poppin', world?
Yeah, that's Mr. Hip Hop with Substance right there. So, you know who we are. By this point, you're familiar with us. You watch us. If you don't know who we are, what's up? Welcome to the show. How you doing?
That's right.
We do this show every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you who are not on the East Coast with us. And you can check us out right here. We got the hottest topics of the day. You know what I'm saying? We talk about music, fashion, you name it, we talk about it. And, you know, you, the faithful viewer, let us know how you feel about what we have to say in the chat room. So if you haven't signed up in the chat room, please avail yourself and please do that. It's only a few second process. So this way we can hear your voice and see what you got to say as well. All right? So how we always start the show. How was your week, brother?
Brother Sanjada's been in like a intellectual battle out there on the battlefield, but we're gonna go in that later. But I'd like to congratulate brother Jay-Z, the sports agent. Yes, you robbed me on the CD, and I did mention that, but you got a $200 and something million contract for your client. 10 years, 200 and something million. So I applaud you, brother. Great job.
Good job. That's Cano, right?
Yeah. Robinson Cano.
And that's why he left the Yankees.
Yankees, and he went out to Seattle. 10 years, 200 and something million dollars, $250 million.
That's a lot of money.
That's a whole lot of money.
Okay. Well, that's cool. It happens. You know what I'm saying? Anything else? That's it. That's
it.
Just happy by Jay. Okay.
That's it.
Let's see. My week was pretty good. Same old same. You know, just grinding out, working, have a job. I'm happy. I'm blessed, and that's it. So in regards to the show, some of y'all know already. Some of y'all may have seen it on Facebook or any other social media. Tonight is our season finale.
Season finale.
All right. Definitely crept up on us. Literally. But this is it. We will be returning after this show. Our first show will be the first Tuesday of February 2014.
That's right.
All right. The first show of February 2014. And we'll be back. New stuff, new everything. Well, not new everything. I mean, still be us, which is what you guys come for anyway. Well, we'll definitely have like some new things we're keeping on the wraps for now.
Right.
But we will tell you because we already talked about the Kickstarter page.
We did do that.
Yeah. We're gonna actually premiere the Kickstarter on the first Tuesday of February. What's the date of that? I probably should have checked that.
First Tuesday, I'll check it.
Yeah, but on that date, we're gonna actually let the Kickstarter page go live, which is where you guys can go to help fund our trip to Cuba. All right. So that's what's up. And yeah, you can always catch us, by the way, on the page as well. So
February 4th.
February 4th. There we go. February 4th, 2014 will be the first Truth Be Told show of the new year. Right? The beginning of season 3 or season 2, if you count it how I count it. Anyway, because that first season really didn't count. It was like a practice run. Anyway, moving forward. So we got a good show for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about the passing of Mandela and his legacy. We're also going to discuss Selfiegate, about Obama and the infamous selfie that happened at the memorial service for Mandela.
That's right.
We got picks for that. And also, we didn't get a chance to really dive into it the last two shows. We're going to discuss some of the tough things that every man should do before he dies. So I think actually I'm going to start with that.
Okay.
We'll start light, and then we'll go into the heavier stuff a little bit later with Mandela and what have you. All right. Cool. So what was that? Last week we got into like maybe two of the tough things that every man should do.
Okay.
So we're gonna try to hit like, I don't know, at least 5 or 6 this time. All right. So, bam. All right. So number 1 on this list, which is honestly kind of confusing. I'm not sure what this means, but maybe the chat room will help us out. Number 1 on the list is tell your buddy his girlfriend is not the one. So I'm assuming that means if, hypothetically, right? Let's say you were not married,
right?
Because he is happily married. But if you weren't, and you're dating some girl, and I, as your friend, met her, and I can just tell, like, nah, that's not it. But you may be head over heels for her.
You would tell somebody that?
Yo, yeah. I mean, you my friend, right? You supposed to let me know what's up. Like, if I'm dating a girl and you know for a fact, well, maybe not a fact, because how can you really know unless you know like she like some mass murderer or something. Right. But, like, you meet her and you're just like, I know my boy. That's not the type. That's not his type of girl. You wouldn't tell him? Not like. Now, mind you, it's just advice. It's not like you're telling break up with her. You're giving your advice as his boy. Like, look. I don't know if she's really for you, son. She just doesn't seem like you're fit. You wouldn't say nothing? You just let it go?
I probably wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say anything. I don't know, bro, because it's tough. It's tough when people...
Exactly. This is the 100 tough things every man should do before he dies.
Right. I was just in a conversation now. I won't mention any name, with some people, like, I think it was 2 days ago. I think it was Sunday, when I was telling these people that they're dating that they should get married. I told the man that, and I told the woman that they should get married. While they playing around, don't waste each other's time, go get married and stop making excuses. I told both of them that, and I don't think it went anywhere.
But why can you tell them to get it to form a union that's supposed to last forever,
right?
But you can't tell your friend not to get into something that might be horrible?
Because that's difficult when people are just getting on and they all bright-eyed and they're laying down and they're doing it and they're all into each other. It's very difficult to pull them out of that mix. It's like a drug, brother. It's like a drug telling someone who's in a new relationship, let's stop. Oh, you shouldn't mess with this person, or you shouldn't be with that person.
Yo, you sound like a cop out right now. That's what it sounds like.
No.
It sounds like a cop out to me, yo. If you my man, we people, we go back like recliners. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you, like, look, bruh, she's a nice girl, but I don't see it working out with you. My boy, shout out to my man, L Books, Larry. I don't know if he's in the chat room or not, but he's told me before. He's been like, yo, I know you. I know how you are, and from what you're telling me about her, I don't think she's for you, dog. It's not gonna work out.
Wow,
and you know what happened?
What happened?
It ain't work out.
But did you find that out after he told you, or you find that out months later?
But that's like it's like he had it's like he had a premonition. But who wants to waste months of time?
When did you find this out? When did you find it out it wasn't going to happen?
I don't
after
remember.
He told you?
This was years ago. I don't recall. I just know that he was like, yo, I don't know. And I was like, nah, son, I'm good. And he was right. I don't know. I'd do it. I would do it. If we tight, I mean, this is not like an acquaintance I'm talking about. This is, if we're tight, if you my boy, my man 100 grand, now I mean my ace bone, I'm gonna be like, look, bruh, I think she's crazy. Don't do it.
And if they continue that relationship, you're gonna have beef with her. Cause they're gonna argue at some point if they continue, and then they're gonna say, I know, Realize told me I shouldn't be with you. He said, Realize told you that. Now every time you see her, there's gonna be an issue.
Well, listen, I don't have to see her. She's not my girlfriend.
No, but
you know what I'm saying?
If that's your man, he's gonna keep on bringing her around at some point.
Man, don't bring that shit around, son.
So you gonna have issue with her.
Okay. So maybe I'm lying. Okay, maybe I wouldn't say don't bring her around, but I mean I would expect my man not to say something crazy like that because obviously it's gonna make it crazy. What if y'all end up getting married?
Do you watch Love and Hip Hop?
No, I don't watch that.
You don't watch that garbage, right?
No, I do not. No, I don't.
You don't watch that garbage.
If it's not The Walking Dead or one of my shows,
you got to get on it, bro.
I'm not interested in no ratchet ass TV.
Brother Sanjay, love these things. None of these things miss me. You know, I'm consumed by these things because I want to know what's going on in the world. And I like, in some respect, watching people's behavior. So, on Love and Hip Hop, bro, there's Erica Mena, right? I don't know if you know these names, but Erica Mena, she was messing with Rich Dollars.
I know Rich Dollars. I recognize
Rich Dollars. Okay. So then last season, Peter Guns. Ever heard that name?
I am a rapper. I know hip hop names. I don't know Erica Mena. Who she? Is she a rapper?
She's somebody jump off. Whatever. But the point is, Peter Guns brought up a situation where he kind of told Rich Dollars that she's not the one, or she's out of pocket, or she's acting reckless. And it wound up breaking.
That's what you're supposed to do. If that's your boy, you just listen. I'm not saying it's not like I'm saying you go to your boy and you say, listen,
right?
She's not the one. Break up with her. You're just expressing your reservations on the topic because that's your man. Like it's like if I don't know, you on the block and you know what I'm saying, you doing something and your man's supposed to be the lookout for you. He see the 5-0 coming. He's supposed to be like, yo. Cuckoo, whatever the sign is, and be like, he's supposed to look. That's your boy. He's supposed to look you out.
But he's not laying down with the 5-0. It's different when people laying down and doing it. They got their feelings involved. But so this season, what happened with Erica Mena is Rich Dollars came to Peter Guns and said both of us should marry her. So they sat down. I'm not marry her. Excuse me. Both of us should manage her. So they sat down. Right, at a meeting, and she started going at Peter Guns. You an old man out here. You a son of a die. She just started going in on him, and she threw a plate at him, and he threw a glass at her. So my point is that was extreme ratchetness. But my point is because Peter Guns got in between that, and then Rich Dollars told Erica Mena about it. Now he has a problem with this woman. So that's my point. My point is you get involved with stuff like that, and relationship, it could be a whole bunch of issues behind that. Forever you're gonna have an issue with the other person.
Okay. So I guess the bottom line of this is that you would not do it.
I don't get involved in domestic disputes.
Okay.
Or domestic issues. I try not to, unless it's like someone beating up somebody I love or something like that. But I try to get not involved with people and their relationship.
Okay. I respect that. I'm telling my peoples what it is. I'm gonna tell them what I think because I have their best interests at heart. That's what it boiled down to. All right, cool. So that's one. Let's go to the next one. Number 2, we won't talk about it because we did it on 2 shows ago. It's just hang out alone with your father-in-law instead of hiding behind your wife. We discussed that 2 shows ago.
We did.
So number 3, out of 100 tough things every man should do, do not go home with the other woman.
Oh.
Okay. That, I can see how that could be tough for some people. That wouldn't be tough for me. You know what I'm saying?
Do not go home with the other woman?
Yeah, AKA if you're in a relationship, you're committed, relationship, married.
Right.
Then, and it can happen. You may meet somebody. You might be out with your boys and you meet a girl and she's attractive and she's like, ooh, you fine. And you're like, ooh, I'm married. And she's like, ooh, who cares? That's when it gets like, that's when the pause happens in the movie.
Right.
And they just show their face and they're like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a tough thing.
Right.
How many men are going to make that decision? I'm involved. I'm good.
Not many.
I'm not going. And that's why it's tough. That's why this is on the list of 100 tough things every man should do. Chat room, Lou, Tunes, I see y'all in there. What about y'all? Would y'all do it? I know Tunes is married. I said Lou and Tunes, the same person. Tunes is married, and I see Blackout. What up, Blackout? Blackout, I don't know if you're in a relationship, but if a fine woman approached you,
like who's the finest woman out there now? Like people feeling.
I don't know.
Like, who? Rihanna? Is she
Rihanna, Beyonce. Kerry Washington is hot right now because
got a baby. Got a baby in that tummy.
Yeah, Nigerian. Oh, yeah. So let's just go with Kerry Washington or Kerry Hilson, whatever. Okay. Any of the Kerrys. So and they're like, look, I know you got a wife.
That's right.
I don't care. Let's take it back to the hotel.
Oh,
are you going? What's their responses? Because
I don't know.
I'm not in there.
Oh, they haven't answered. Last thing they said was the Lou said the thing about the love and hip hop analogy threw him off. I don't know. It's like I don't know. Discipline is very difficult to be disciplined. When it comes to sex, a lot of men have been brought down by sex scandals. A lot of smart men, yeah. Bill Clinton, Elliot Spitzer, you name it. Allegedly, I don't know this for sure, but they say that MLK loved the ladies.
Yeah, they do say that.
They do say MLK loved the ladies. Muhammad Ali, he loved the ladies, and this man was a fighter and was a trainer. I'm not a trainer, was a fighter and a boxer, and was so disciplined in his boxing regimen. He just couldn't leave the ladies alone. So that's very difficult.
Okay, well, I mean, again.
So I would say, if the woman agreed, a man should be allowed to marry more than one woman. It may not be for me. Put that out there. It may not be for me. But a man should be allowed to marry more than one woman.
That's not answering the question, though. So the question is, because this question comes to you too, and we both have to answer it.
Right.
If a woman is like, "Hey, Sunjata, let's go back to my place. I know you're married."
I would try my best to go home to my wife, and I would try my best to do that, and I would make sure that I did that.
I was waiting for you. I'm like, are you trying to get shot? I'm like,
I was clean that up.
You know, she's right upstairs.
That's right. She come down.
And I'm gonna get caught in the crossfire. This is bringing it up, right?
That's right. But I would go home because whatever amount of time you're gonna spend with that person, it's not worth the breakup, right? It's not worth the breakup. But I know for a lot of us, man, that's a very difficult situation to be in.
That might be the toughest thing on the list, honestly.
It might be.
But since I made you answer, I also have to answer it. I would not go home with the other woman.
Not Carrie Hilson?
No, man.
Oh.
Carrie? Oh, no. Even Carrie Hilson. You know why? You know why?
Why?
This may not be a good reason, but it's part of my reasoning. I mean, the overall reason is it's wrong. But more than that, for me, is if my significant other was in the same scenario with not Carrie Hilson, I'm gonna leave that alone. But with somebody else, some man that is like her fantasy dude, I would hope she would do the same thing. So because I wouldn't want her to do it, I wouldn't do it. So that's my reasoning. Good or bad, that's my reasoning for it. So there we go. All right. So the next one. All right. This will probably be the last one before we start getting into the meat. Or no, we'll do two more. Number 4. Make the toast. The table is demanding it. Don't just stare at your chicken and wait for them to forget.
Make the toast?
The toast, like cheers.
Oh.
Not like toast.
Like, no. Not the bread. Yeah.
I don't
toast
know.
For what, though? What
I don't know. I guess whatever particular situation. I mean, I guess if you think about it, right, really, when people toast, like, how do you pick who makes the toast? I guess it's usually the person who thinks about it. You know what I'm saying? They'll be the one to like, ding, 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 whatever, and be like to make a toast. But for people who have a fear of speaking, that might not be the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You don't want to get up in front of everybody. I obviously have no problem being in front of people. I love the camera. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I could not. I would. That's not tough for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that might be tough for somebody else.
Right.
So if this is speaking to you, if you've never made a toast before, do it, man. Be a man, dog. Be a man. It's just a toast, like 3 minutes. Have you made toast before?
I don't drink alcohol.
Me neither. I've made toast.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to be alcohol.
Oh, it doesn't have to be alcohol. No, I've never made a toast. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I had to make a toast. I don't know. Like me, you know, I'm very verbal. Like I don't need like to stop everything to say what I need to say.
Because everything stops when you start talking.
That's right. That's right. Like no, I didn't say that. But if I had something to say, I'm just gonna like say it. And if I stop the thing just to say it, I could go on for more than 3 minutes. Listen, Jada, I'll be up there for maybe 20 minutes talking.
Yeah, it's a little bit too long.
Yeah, so that's a long time for a toast. So that wouldn't be an issue for me. But I guess my thing would tell people if they really have something to make sure they have something to say. Don't just say, I like to make a toast and don't have nothing to say. Make sure you have something to say and make sure it's going to be something that resonates. Cool. You know, so that's what I would say to those people.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. All right. So last one we'll do for tonight before moving on. Shotgun a beer. Enough said. That's exactly what it said. Shotgun a beer. Enough said.
Shotgun a beer?
I don't even know what that means. I'm assuming maybe they mean like chug a beer, shotgun a beer, shotgun. It's the chat room. Sorry, I don't drink. Can somebody tell me what shotgun a beer involves? What exactly that is? Because I don't drink, that would be tough. I couldn't do it. First and foremost, the smell of beer makes me sick. Always has, for some reason. My entire life, the smell of beer makes my stomach turn. So I wouldn't be shotgunning a beer. That's for one. For two, I don't even know what it is, so I couldn't speak to that. You wouldn't happen to have any idea, would you?
Nah, I don't know. I've heard of shotgun with marijuana, but I've never heard of shotgun with beer. No.
Yeah, I've heard of shotgun with marijuana as well. So I don't even know how those two.
I don't know. I don't know what shotgun and beer is.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Okay, well, yeah. So sorry, anybody in the chat room say anything about that shotgun stuff?
Nah, they said something about the woman. Lou said something about once you make a promise, you keep it.
Respect that definitely. So that's it for now. We will continue the list. That was number 5, I believe. So we will continue for number 6 on February 4th, the first show of the new year. All right. So moving on.
Word.
Very, very, very sad, personally, at the passing of Nelson Mandela. He was born on July 18th of 1918 in Mvezo. Maybe the V is silent. Mvezo, South Africa. And as many of you know, he died December 5th, which is just last week. I've never, honestly, in memory, seen so much stuff about Mandela on social media. I mean, and I guess, I don't want to say understandably so, but, you know, he's been quiet in his old age.
Wait. Pause. Lou said something about the beer, shotgun. It says it's a process of puncturing a beer, then opening the top and chugging from the punched out part. Oh, so it's like, I don't know, like in movies, like when I've seen when they bite into the beer can, or they puncture, they puncture the hole, they didn't drink it from the side.
I got you.
Okay, that's what it is.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you.
There you go, Lou. You shotgun a beer.
Yeah, apparently you know what we're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, back to Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, so I'm just saying I've never seen such a outpouring of like, I mean, honestly, for Nelson Mandela, no. But right before Nelson Mandela died, rest in peace to him, Paul Walker died, rest in peace to him.
Oh, yeah.
And he was also all over social media. So I guess it's the same, but it's not the same. You know, Paul Walker, God bless his soul, did a lot. He's actually quite the philanthropist, which I didn't know until after he passed away.
Wow.
But everybody, for the most part, knows who Mandela is and what he achieved, what he dedicated his entire life to. And that was, to end apartheid in South Africa. And not just South Africa. Basically he wanted equality the world over.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we just wanted to discuss him briefly, and I definitely wanted to have Brother Sanjata give his view on it, because as you were saying at the top of the show, he's been having somewhat of an intellectual war of words with a bunch of people associated with a friend of the show. Big shout out to Mr. Remarkable, aka Mr. Remy, or Remarkable Remy.
Word.
He put up something about Mandela and stated that he would be doing, was it 95 or 90 days?
I think it's 95.
95 days of Mandela. So every day he's putting up on his status on Facebook a new fact about Mandela that people might not know. I think a new fact and like a new picture, something to that effect. A lot of people commended him for doing that.
Yes.
I commend him for doing it just off the pure fact that people will push and promote the hell out of parties and other random nonsense on Facebook. And, when it comes down to pushing and promoting things that are positive or, outside of that realm, it doesn't really happen too often. And honestly, it's still sad that it takes him dying for that to happen.
Word.
But, regardless of the circumstances, it's positive that he does it, because he and I were having a conversation. He said, you know what? I don't want this to fade away like everything else fades away.
Right.
He said to me, who's still talking about Trayvon?
Right.
I said, damn, you have a great point. He said, at least I know from me doing this, for the next 3 months, people are still, at least on my stream, going to see, hear, and talk about Mandela. And I was like, you know what, brother? That's what I'm talking about. So, apparently you also saw his post.
I saw that.
And you had an interesting stream of thought on the subject.
I did.
I
saw.
Tell us about that.
I saw his post, and let me preface to say that I don't think Nelson Mandela was a hero.
Oh man, we're gonna lose like 10 people out of the chat room right now.
That's right.
Well, no, because they're gonna listen at least to hear what you have to say.
I don't believe Nelson Mandela is a hero. I'll say it again. I certainly do not. Now, if you don't like it, that's just the way it is. But I do not. Okay?
Again, the views of
it's only my opinion.
It's not the views of Truth Be Told.
It's only my opinion. And I know it's not a popular opinion.
Not at all, but please explain yourself.
Okay, so when Remy put that up, I asked him, like, Remy, why? I basically asked him, like, what's the big deal with Nelson Mandela? He said he ended apartheid. Ended apartheid? No way. He only ended it in name alone. There's still apartheid in South Africa. And let me tell you why I don't think Nelson Mandela was a hero. I'm sorry. But if that offends some of your sensibilities, I'm sorry. Okay? So, now, let's go into this. The reason why I said that is because Nelson Mandela, yes, he was on the front lines. Nelson Mandela, yes, he spent time in jail. And no, I'm not Nelson Mandela. Let me just get that out the way, because people are going to say, Sanjada, what have you done? You just talk here on the internet. Yes, but I'm me. So, what happens is that I think that he wasn't a hero because when he came out of jail, Nelson Mandela, one, he reconciled with a racist government because he appeased the white minority in South Africa to a point that they barely made any changes that would affect the majority of the black people in South Africa. So when you look at South Africa now, the people are still living in shanty towns. The people are still suffering. Many people still don't have electricity. Many people still find it very difficult to live in their ancestral home. And the people who have had the power in South Africa for the last 300 years, their place in South Africa hasn't changed at all. So that is the fact. So if you want to debate me on the fact, we can talk about facts. But if you want to talk about emotion, I can't debate you on emotion. You feel the way you feel. But when it comes to the facts, I don't think Nelson Mandela was a hero because of that. He didn't do enough. He didn't make enough changes in order to affect the 80% of the South African population, which happened to be black. Now, that's what I have to say.
So what about the fact that he started something? What about what he stood for? So I understand your point in that you're saying South Africa now is not that much better than it was before Nelson Mandela, right? That's what you're saying, right? But what about what he stood for? Does that not count for anything? His life is a message to everybody on what you should do when you see injustice, on what you should do when you have a problem. Stand up and fight for it. Do something about it, and don't stop fighting. Unlike all of these people that, and word to Remy, that kept complaining about Trayvon, and now you don't see no post about Trayvon. You don't see nobody's profile picture blacked out. You don't see anything. You don't hear about it like it never happened. These are the type of activists that we are. And I say we are because I'm guilty of it as well. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not just pointing fingers. But we're guilty of that. Nelson Mandela, I can't say is guilty of that. Even if you feel as if he appeased the people that basically were holding all black people down in South Africa, regardless of that, he still stands for action. He stands for fighting for what you believe in, fighting for what's right. And I don't think that can ever be taken away from him. That in and of itself makes him a hero. How many? You know what? Here's a good way to look at it. Who do you call? Who would you call a modern day hero then? If not Nelson Mandela, give me an example of somebody that you think is a modern day, and Mandela, at least from Mandela's during his lifetime, hero.
A modern day hero of mine would be Louis Farrakhan. A modern day hero of mine would be the Zimbabwe president, Robert Mugabe. One, Louis Farrakhan, because he's still trying to change the minds of many black people here in the Western Hemisphere, particularly black men, working with black men, trying to better themselves.
I gotta pause you, bro. Operative word there. Trying.
Right.
So didn't Mandela try to change?
Yes, but I will quote Sunchild here. Sunchild, what up, though? He went in a revolutionary and came out a figurehead. Makes me wonder if he was brainwashed while he was imprisoned. He tried before he went to prison. When he came out a changed man.
Can you tell me anybody that went into prison for any substantial amount of time and came out exactly the same person? Especially somebody, I'm not talking about some petty crook who goes in for a year or two, or even a murderer who goes in for 27 years. Like Mandela was in 27 years. So say somebody goes to jail for 27 years. The jail time he does is going to be completely and utterly different than the jail time Mandela did. Because he went to jail where nobody could help him or protect him, right? He had no rights there. In these jails, they have no rights. But in these jails, they're not getting tortured damn near every single day. They're not trying, like, don't get me wrong, jails systematically do basically break the psyche of the people in jail. That's the point, especially black men. But that's another show. Moving on, but turn that up 100 times for Mandela. He went into that prison, every day psychologically, they're trying to brainwash him. So Sunchild, I wouldn't be surprised if he was psychologically brainwashed. 27 years, every day? Of course he's going to come out a different man. So can you blame him? Which one of us could be in jail for 27 years and come out the same person we were when we went in? Especially when you're being treated the way he was treated while you was in there.
So you come out an appeaser to your people that tortured you?
Hear what you're saying, bruh. How is he not going to come out whatever they wanted him to be? It's 27 years of constant torment and psychological brainwashing. You're going to come out whatever. If they wanted him to come out at, hello, my baby, hello, with a top hat, that's what he would have been doing.
So you would celebrate that?
I'm not celebrating it. I'm telling you, celebrate the revolutionary that he was. You can't be mad at him for what he went through, something unspeakable. Most people would have broken way earlier, most people may have died in there. He at least made it through all of what he went through. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you're faulting him for something that almost no human being would be able to deal with. There are people who are brainwashed in shorter amount of times. I forget, somebody look it up. I forget what it's called, the syndrome, when somebody gets kidnapped and over the course of like months, not 27 years, months before they're released, they like not fall in love, but they look at their captor as the person that is their savior. This is the same person that kidnapped them, and that only takes months. How about somebody 27 years in prison? Every day they come in, they torture you. They're telling you this is how you need to think. This is what you need to do.
So then we should celebrate Mandela before he went to prison, because after he went out and became president, he did basically nothing for Black South Africans. Except for a little token, except for token blacks who got position and who got contracts, but the Nelson Mandela's presidency did not help the majority of Black South Africans, and that's a fact.
Stockholm syndrome,
the Patty Hearst syndrome, but we're not gonna get into that because Brother Sinjada can get into how white supremacy play a part in that, but we're not gonna get into that.
Yo, what I'm saying is. Factually, South Africa still has its issues.
Right.
So, let me rephrase that. So you saying that Nelson Mandela is not a hero is akin to saying, and I'm pretty sure you're going to say, yeah. I know you. It's akin to saying Malcolm X wasn't a hero. It's akin to saying Martin Luther King wasn't a hero. Because if Malcolm X, well, in different ways, they were somewhat fighting for the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. But what they were fighting for, now that they're both gone, has it been achieved completely? No.
But they never.
That's like saying there's no racism in America.
But
there's still racism in America.
But they never became president.
That doesn't take away what they did.
No, but my point is, Nelson Mandela went to the heights of politics. He became president of South Africa, where he could have directed policy to the majority of Black South Africans. And he did not. He kept the same economic system in place that exploited the people. The same people who run the diamonds when Nelson Mandela was in prison is the same people who run the diamonds now in South Africa. The same people who has the wealth are the same people who has the wealth before, has the wealth now.
And when is that ever going to change? If you look at any country, any of their political ecosystems are controlled by whoever has the money. You can be president of whatever the hell you want to be president of. The people that have the money control it. Look at America. Well, you think Obama really has any power?
Obama's not a revolutionary. And then since you bring that up, then Nelson Mandela is not a revolutionary then. Because nothing changed. Because when a revolutionary takes power or get into place, things change. Revolution. I said the definition of a revolution. There's changes.
Legally, I mean, we can go on forever debating the fact that something may be changed in name. For instance, there is no apartheid anymore, right? Hear me out. There is none. Legally. Does that mean there's not apartheid? Hell no. Just like there's no racism, but there's still racism. There's certain, you can't change the inner makings of a people. If somebody's racist, they're always going to be racist unless they decide. You can't change them. They have to change themselves. So you can't say because there's still apartheid and there's still, it's not equal in regards to the economics over there that he failed. He made an attempt. He can't do everything. You see what I'm saying? It's the reason he celebrated is that he made the attempt where other people don't make attempts. How many things are wrong with this country and who's doing anything about it?
Why do they celebrate Nelson Mandela and they don't celebrate Robert Mugabe, who's in Zimbabwe and took the land back from the colonial oppressor?
I don't know.
Because Nelson Mandela didn't do those things. He didn't do revolutionary acts. The same colonists
you can't do revolutionary acts behind bars, bro.
But you did it. You can do it as president. He can direct policy.
Didn't we already establish that before he became president, he was in jail where he was broken and changed? Do you think the Nelson Mandela, before prison would have gotten into presidency and did the same thing? Or he would have been different. 27 years, dog. 27 years. Constant torture. Constant psychological torture as well. Of course he's going to come out and be a puppet head or a figurehead or whatever you want to call it.
So what do you say to the South Africans who are basically, and I haven't said this, but who are basically saying Nelson Mandela is a sellout? That even his ex-wife, Winnie Mandela, said he's a sellout.
Listen, I say exactly what I just said. What I said applies to anybody who feels like he didn't do anything. You see what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. Things have not changed, but no one person can change anything. We need a movement.
You're a follower of Jesus Christ, brother. You're a follower of Jesus Christ, and
Yes,
that
I
one
am.
person changed things.
Yeah, that also was the Son of God. Mandela was just a human.
Okay, well, if we want to go in the religious realm, if you follow Islam, Muhammad changed things. If you want to go in the religious realm, Buddha changed things.
And they all had a divinity about them. They weren't regular humans. So how does that even compare? You're comparing regular people, humans, and even I'm a Christian, but even if you want to go into any other religion, anybody who the one that changed them, there's divinity associated with them. So that's different.
Well,
you can't compare peas and oranges. Yes, peas and oranges, not apples and oranges.
Let's go to so the American colonists, which didn't help us as black people, but let's go with the American colonists and their leader George Washington. And I'm saying they, not us. Their leader George Washington basically made a revolution to get away from England, and they wanted this land governed the way they saw fit. So that's a person who did a revolutionary act for his people, not ours again. But he did a revolutionary act. So I'm saying for Nelson Mandela could have been our George Washington, who got made changes so that the 80% of black South Africans have a better economic life in South Africa, have a better living conditions in South Africa, have a better system in South Africa that's going to benefit them. But Nelson Mandela did not do that.
Tunes in the chat room says, but it was a democracy. Once empowered in a democracy, you have to work with other people. You're not doing it by yourself. You have to work with other people. And honestly, I still don't believe in any of that because I don't believe that anybody in politics really has too much power. I believe, how we always are on the show, that there's people behind the scenes, the people that have the money, that are pulling the strings as they see fit. That's what I think anyway. So I think it happens here in the most powerful country in the world. I think it happens everywhere. I think money controls politics.
But look, if you want to go to democracy, I think that, I'm not sure of this, but I think South Africa is a parliamentary democracy, meaning that you can get your team in there and your team can basically do anything they want once you have the majority in a parliamentary system. I'm not sure about that, the parliamentary system, but if they do have a parliamentary system, it's easy to make changes. But my point is the ANC has had them, once they were allowed to get in the political process, they had the people in place. So even if it wasn't a parliamentary system, they had their people in place, they have their politicians in place, they have the votes behind them, they had the people behind them. They could have made more changes, and Nelson Mandela, the head of that country, could have made more changes as president once he became that, instead of allowing the status quo in South Africa to continue to this day.
I feel like your whole point is void. I feel like it's void because if we all agree, as Sunchild put so eloquently, that he was brainwashed, then what do you expect him to do? He's brainwashed. As somebody brainwashed, you're not doing what you want to do.
So why we celebrate someone who was brainwashed?
Because how about you celebrate the fact that he was brainwashed? He actually had to go through that. That's not something a regular person can do. That's like saying, firefighter's job ain't that hard. All they have to do is run into burning buildings, put out the flames, and rescue people. Would you do it? No. So that's why you respect firefighters. You know what I'm saying? You try to respect police. That's a whole nother story. It's hard to do that, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he went through something that 95% of humanity would not go through if given the choice. If they said you could have a regular life where you don't do anything, or you could live this life and deal with such and such and such and such, people are gonna be like, I'm gonna go with the regular life. Thanks, Bob.
You think people would choose a regular life than be celebrated, Nelson Mandela, the way Nelson Mandela has been celebrated?
Yeah, if they had to go through what Nelson Mandela went through, yeah, I definitely feel that.
I don't know, because I don't know. But my point is, the facts show that people are still suffering in South Africa.
Let your truth be told.
And my truth be told is, and many of you may not like it, but for us, as black people and for black South Africans, Nelson Mandela is no hero. For the Afrikaners, the Europeans in South Africa, he's a hero to them because he didn't stop anything he didn't find a way to take away their oppressive economic behavior and their oppressive I guess he took away he took away the politics, but he didn't take away the economics that allowed more black South Africans to enjoy the fruits of their ancestral land. So for us, he's no hero, and for me, he's no hero. That's my truth be told.
My truth be told is, as I said on the thread that started this conversation on Facebook, that we should take a look at what he stood for, not so much exactly what he did, though he did a lot in a lot of people's opinions. I think he stood for change. I think he stood for standing up for what you believe in. And I think honestly, in this day and time, that's more than a lot of modern day quote unquote heroes can be spoken for. That's how I feel. That's my truth be told. I'm not gonna front. We all know that media has a way of glamorizing a lot of stuff and making you see what they want you to see. But that's a whole nother scenario. And that's it. We're actually already over time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We appreciate everybody. We love y'all for sticking with us. This has been our second season. Again, the way I look at it is our first season. But y'all been with us through thick and thin, through problems, technical difficulties, and all that. And, without getting, emotional, because I keep it gangster, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I can speak on both of our behalves when I say we really, really appreciate all of you for sticking with us and help make show what it is. And come next semester, come next semester because we teach it. Yeah. So anyway, come next season, we got a bunch of new stuff. We trying to get to Cuba. You know what I mean? Kickstarter and all that. But we'll bring that back around. Yo, we thank you. That's for me. We thank you. We love y'all. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for staying with us. And make sure you check us out February 4th, 2014. What you got to say, bro?
Many of you are upset right now, but I told you I'm Morpheus. I am Morpheus. I told you that before. And I know you may not agree with my opinion, but just think about it. By the way, I'd like to shout out my lady. My lady. Tomorrow will be my 12th year wedding anniversary.
Congrats, brother.
And it just so happened that it's been 7 weeks since my son was born. So you know what that means. Push in the bush. Push in the bush.
Okay, so that means you're gonna start working on number tree.
No,
tree. As Jamaicans say.
I think that's the last child for me. That's the last child for me. But I'm gonna go upstairs and try to push in the bush.
Well, congratulations on that, brother. That's interesting to know. Yeah, man. So we will not be on next week. We won't be on again until February 4th, 2014.
Right.
Please avail yourself. We are still going to be on all our social media. If you need to hit us up, you can still email us at itsalltruth@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram, Truth Be Told Tuesday. It's one long ass word. All right. You can find us on Facebook, which will probably be the place that's the busiest. Facebook.com/itsalltruth. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/user/crap. TBT show. I forgot for a second, man. And I think that's it. Instagram, Facebook, whatever. So those are the places. If you go to our Facebook, all of the links for everything is on Facebook. All right, so please stay with us on the page. Check out the page. We're going to be giving announcements and putting updates up there for things that we're doing or what have you. And I guess that's it, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Thank you for supporting us again.
All right.
And,
Blue, Blackout.
Blackout.
What up, though?
Sunchild.
What up,
LC
though?
Clark. Always popping. My mom. My sister, everybody that be in the chat room holding us down. Bubbles is Trouble, Carol, it's gonna be hard to remember everybody without y'all being in here today. But you know, everybody, man, we love y'all. At this point, we just talking. We well over our mark.
Word.
Or whatever. But man, we love y'all, man, and we appreciate y'all, and we promise it's only gonna get better. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I guess until we see you again, this is Truth Be Told.
Right.
Where every man is king. Sometimes. See y'all in about 2 months or a month and a half. We out. Peace.